Welcome. Please subscribe, thumb up the video, share it to your social media. This is a fan theory for the show called From. It is on MGM Plus. It is a fan theory that contains spoilers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Jeff, what are you doing, honey? You should be resting.
I need to talk.
Okay.
Over here. And I just kept asking myself, why? Why did that road lead us here? What the fuck is the point of all of this?
Whoa, you can't just take this stuff. It doesn't belong to you.
Hey, you go! Now!
Fucking people. Did you know Christy's fiance was on that bus?
What?
Yeah. And what you said about the wires not being connected, that's not possible.
No, I'm telling you.
I know it's not that. I know it. I believe you. It's just that there is no way. When we build a new roller coaster, we design it to do things that seem impossible. Because the more impossible it seems, the stronger reaction you get from the people riding it. I know how this sounds, but what if all this was designed just to see how we react? I mean, what if this is all some kind of fucked up experiment? The radio worked.
No.
We made contact with someone.
Why is everybody just standing?
Because they don't know. Right as the storm was coming in, just as we were about to wrap things up, I heard a voice. A man. That's why I came running back here. He warned me, Tabitha. Or threatened me, I don't know which. But he knew my name. And he said, you shouldn't be digging. And then just like that, our house collapsed.
You think someone's watching us?
All I know is... All I know is... someone got on the other end of that radio and they talked to me.
Did anyone else hear it? The voice on the radio?
Like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. If you're returning, welcome back, welcome home. So the last video that I made, it was determined, based off the evidence I presented, the voice on the radio was Christopher. The person that Victor was hiding from was Christopher. And a lot of the negativity or evils in Fromville, I believe, has Christopher involved in it. I'm not going to say that he's the big bad, but he's definitely a key player. And I think that he was working with the boy in white. This video is about who I believe is a possible mole. People have said that possibly it could be Victor or it could be Donna. There's only two characters in Fromville that really look at Fromville as being home, and that's Victor and Donna. But I don't believe that it's Victor simply because he just doesn't really seem enthusiastic to want to experiment in Fromville. He just seems like that's his home, and that's pretty much all that is to him. As far as Donna, people think that Donna may have been lying about her backstory and that she could be a mole. I think that Donna doesn't really want to shake things up in Fromville. She views Fromville as being better than life on the outside of Fromville. And I think that she too believes that if they go along to get along, the life in Fromville can be better than a lot of people's lives in the real world. And I think that's the extent of her character. Every character in Fromville, whether they are a recurring character, a minor character, or a part of the main cast, everyone who's shown on screen has had some type of purpose. The main cast is used to push the story forward. A reoccurring character usually is introduced, and then the creatures get this person. There's only one character in the entire show that has somewhat been a minor character that has not been taken out by the creatures, that has not had a storyline a part of who this character is, and they've shown actual interest and even excitement as far as Fromville, and I think that person is the mole. And I'm gonna lay out why I believe it is later on. One, I'll say a correction that I made on the Christopher video. I said that when Victor came out from the cellar that he must have saw his sister, and that's why he clutched his lunchbox. Upon further viewing of that episode and a lot of other things, I'm going to say that Victor clutched his lunchbox because he just saw someone who was unalived right outside the cellar door or entrance, and he was just surprised nobody came in the cellar and interacted with him. Because the creatures could have, or whoever took out the person right outside the cellar door, came in the cellar, but for whatever reason they did not. And I think Christopher had something to do with everybody being eliminated in town. And the reason why Christopher didn't go to the cellar is because Christopher was chasing after Victor's mom. And I think Victor's mom sacrificed herself at the faraway tree that leads to the lighthouse to allow Victor's sister to go into the final faraway tree, or the exit faraway tree, to go to the lighthouse. And I think Christopher fighting with Victor's mom, he was occupied with that. And I think it's possible that when he went through the lighthouse, the boy in white had already pushed Victor's sister out of the lighthouse, like he did with Tabitha in season 2, episode 10. And Christopher just didn't follow Victor's sister out of the lighthouse. So I think that in season 3, we're going to see Tabitha interacting with the boy in white and Victor's sister in the hospital and get information as far as that piece of the storyline. I do believe that somehow the government could be involved in Fromville, and here's why. This is a science fiction horror show, so it's possible for the creatures, the boy in white, and everybody else using telepathy to know everyone's names. But I think it's also possible to know everyone's names because people were handpicked by whoever is the organization or people responsible for either creating Fromville, discovering it, and using it for experimentation, or just overall running it. And here's what I mean. So everybody in the world pretty much has a cell phone at this point. And whatever country you're in, your government's listening. Or some organization is listening to your every call, and the phones are even listening to you when they're not even being used. So it's really easy for the phones to not only know who you are and follow and track you, but also be used to have a portal to Fromville created, have you drive or go through it, and then you see the tree, you turn around and you're in the pocket universe of Fromville. So I believe that it's possible for everyone's phone to have been used to get their name, to get their whereabouts and trap them in Fromville. And that could be a part of why every creature knows everyone's name who comes into Fromville. And I think that Christopher was the voice talking to Sarah, telling her to watch for 2 cars coming into Fromville, for her to trust the voice. And one aspect I will say is that the voice or voices that was talking to Sarah, telling her the 2 cars were going to be coming into Fromville at the same time. I think it's really easy for using cell phones to track 2 different vehicles that they want to come into Fromville, let's say Jade and the Matthews. It's really easy to track their movement and have them come at the same time and tell Sarah to watch for 2 vehicles so that she knows what they told her to do is going to happen simply by tracking using cell phones and then having her take out Jade's friend, making it seem like the creatures did it to encourage Jade to go on the journey that Christopher is laying out for him, because Christopher is almost manipulating Jade just like a puppet, and Christopher manipulates all the time because he was a ventriloquist. There could be actual satellites in Fromville. Even though we can't see them, there could be satellites that allows for someone using some type of computer or radio to listen to people, watch people, and to know that Tabitha was digging inside her home and using sound waves. That same satellite could have caused the house that Tabitha was in to collapse. So a satellite plus technology and intercepting the radio that was created by Jim could all be reasons how Christopher was able to see Tabitha digging, communicate that with Jim, know Jim's first and last name, cause the house to collapse, and overall play puppet master from somewhere in Fromville that they can't see or hear.
It's not a good time, Jim.
You know why I'm here.
To thank me for looking after your kids when you ran off like an asshole?
We need to talk about how we're gonna handle this.
Handle what?
You heard the voice on the radio. I know you did.
Get the fuck in here. gonna put this as delicately as possible. How fucking stupid are you?
What?
You wanna know if I heard something? Yeah, I heard it. I heard some spooky motherfucker warn you about your wife 20 minutes before your house collapsed.
That means that there are people out there who can see us.
And what part of you thinks that that's a good sign? Do you realize what happened here after you ran off? The fucking lights exploded. One of my people almost went blind. If there really are people watching us, they sure as shit aren't helping us. What do you think they'll do if they find out we know about them? And that's assuming it was actually a person on the other end of the line. There are things around here that walk and talk just like us until they walk up to you and rip your fucking guts out. How do you know it wasn't one of them? I am not saying ignore it. But you already got people's hopes up with your goddamn tap.
All the more reason
To keep our fucking mouths shut until we know more.
Where's the radio?
What?
What happened to the radio?
It's in the back. Got a little busted up during the storm.
All right.
Do me a favor and don't do anything until I tell you.
So people have pointed to this scene right here saying that Donna might be a mole. To me, Donna just doesn't want people to panic, because when people panic, they start to fight each other, get hysterical. They are harder to control, harder to talk to as far as leading. And ultimately, people tend to be more self-destructive and destructive in general when they're scared. So if people feel safe and secure, they're more likely to continue to conform to this way of life that Donna and Boyd have put together. So I don't think that Donna is being a mole or antagonistic. She's being smart because, in my experience with being in the military, command and control is the most important thing when you're dealing with people. And when people panic, they do a lot of crazy stuff, especially independent from everyone else. They stop thinking, they start reacting, and it's real easy for people to fall into chaos.
Excuse me? Sheriff Boyd, right?
Yeah, sorry, I don't,
Tilly.
Tilly, hi.
I was on the bus.
Yeah.
This wasn't exactly my preferred destination. I understand you yourself had a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I need to go speak with my deputy.
You won't find him in there. I just saw him heading towards that medical building.
People think that Tilly is the mole. I don't think anybody who came on the bus is a mole. I think Tilly is just used for comic relief in a way, just like Jade was when he first was introduced in season 1. People have said, well, Tilly, she kind of talks and acts like the cowboy creature. Maybe there's something going on with her. I don't think anything's going on with her, simply because she just hasn't had enough scenes to point out anything concrete. And most of the people that I've seen in the comment section pointing to Tilly, they are kind of fabricating stuff about her that hasn't been presented in the show. Maybe season 3, it'll come out that she has more to do with Fromville, but as of right now, I don't think her or anyone on the actual bus is a mole. I think the mole has been around since season 1, episode 1, and I'll get into that later on.
You know, I wasn't even supposed to be driving that day. I took that job to pay for my degree. Last month, I finally paid off my tuition. I was all set to hand in my notice, and I thought, why not stay a few extra weeks? Put aside something extra so I can treat myself, take a little trip, and celebrate. I deserve a little reward, right? Is this what I deserve?
I sold my company right before I got it. Finally achieved the one thing I worked my whole life for. It's getting what we deserve.
The bus driver's name is Bacta, and then that's Jade in the scene. I believe Jade, I believe the bus driver, that she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and whatever method that Marielle was going to choose to go to the rehab, Marielle was going to be put into Fromville, and everybody else on the bus are just basically innocent victims. I believe Marielle was the intended target, and Marielle being on the bus got her into Fromville. I think if people would have been traveling by plane, there would have been a plane crash, and maybe they would have walked into Fromville, or been a plane crash and people would have somehow made it into Fromville, kind of like the other show that the creators of From have created called Lost. The creators will find a way to get you in Fromville, either by plane, by bus, by walking. I believe the bus driver, I don't believe that she is a mole, because later on, when she talks about her grandmother used to recite the rhyme to her that we're going to listen to, it seems suspicious that no one else has heard the rhyme. Everyone's talking about the rhyme, but the bus driver is the only one who has outside information about the rhyme in the real world, versus everyone else who heard the rhyme either through a dream or a prophetic vision like Elgin.
You're doing a great job, you know? The way you handled everything tonight. You're gonna be a great mom.
You're pregnant?
Yeah. How did you know?
Sweetie, I've had 4 kids and 7 grandchildren. I know an expecting mother when I see one.
People have pointed to this scene saying that Tilly knew Fatima was pregnant because she and the people in Fromville got Fatima pregnant, or somehow using magic got Fatima pregnant. I believe Tilly when she says that, because I've heard other women in the comment section of my videos and even in real life say the same thing, that they can tell when someone's pregnant just by how a woman's walking, how she's kind of like cradling her stomach. I believe Tilly. And then with Fatima confirming it, there you go.
What's wrong?
I just remembered my dream.
About the dream.
There was this boy, all dressed in white, and he kept repeating the same phrase over and over. Here they come. They come for 3, unless you stop the melody.
Wait, I know that one. It's an old nursery rhyme. My grandmother used to sing it to me. They touch, they break, they steal. No one here is free. Here they come for 3, unless you stop the melody.
To me, that's concrete proof that the boy in white and Christopher are working together. I mean, Christopher told Kenny on the phone in Kenny's dream that nursery rhyme, and the boy in white told Elgin the nursery rhyme in a prophetic dream. So I think they're working together on the same side or going toward the same cause. And as far as the bus driver just so happened to hear the rhyme from her grandmother in the real world, I think it's a real thing. I think the nursery rhyme in the Fromville series, I think that's the actual nursery rhyme. It's just that Christopher may have come from the time period of the bus driver's grandmother, knew that rhyme, and used that rhyme to communicate, and the boy in white just repeated the same thing. Because the boy in white may be the same age, if not older than Christopher, and both of them knew the rhyme, and they just were using it as a way to convince Boy to destroy the music box, because the music box, in my opinion, had a different agenda from Christopher and the boy in white. Every time we saw the music box, Boyd's wife, Abby, was coming to talk to him outside of the music box, bringing the creature that was trying to drown Elgin in his dream, and that brought the ballerina with the worms in her mouth to antagonize Boyd. So the music box to me was a way to see alternate timelines, or for creatures to come and interact with you, or for the deceased in Fromville to interact with people. I think Christopher and the boy in white, who were working together, needed the music box to be destroyed, and them using that nursery rhyme was a way to convince Boyd to do it. The cicadas were separate from the music box, separate from Christopher and boy in white, separate from the creatures. And it's almost like there's different forces trying to impose their will using the residents of Fromville. And Christopher and the boy in white needed the music box to be destroyed, because when Boyd brought the music box and the worms with him to Fromville from that alternate place that Martin was chained up in, they needed the music box to be eliminated from being in Fromville to continue on with the agenda that they both have. It would have been great if they would have asked the bus driver, what does the nursery rhyme mean? More information about it, but we know that the writers of Fromville they like to play their cards close to the chest and even create plot points and not even finish them. And what I mean is the original plot point that has gone unfinished was when Julie and the Matthews arrived in Fromville, the creatures came from around the corner in the house. We're going to actually watch that scene now. The creature knew Julie's name. Julie recognized the creature. She got terrified and ran in the house. Without further ado, here is the scene where I believe the show and the writers illustrated who the mole is.
Runners on the hill! We got runners on the hill! Runners on the hill!
We see this woman, she heard something outside. She looked outside. She saw people running towards Colony House. She rung the bell on the wall, yelled out, "Runners on the hill, runners on the hill." So we're going to watch the rest of the scene, of course, but this indicates that they have a procedure for anyone who comes at night while the talismans are on the wall and everybody's in for the night. They have an actual procedure for people who are either coming into Fromville or coming from the town into Colony House. Colony House has an actual procedure for bringing people into the home, especially if they do not know them.
What are you doing? Open the door!
Those aren't our people.
Ellis is out there! What's wrong with you?
I can't. No! No!
Stick to the door! Come on! Open the door! Hello! Hey! Open the door! Hey! What's going on? Open the door! We have people up! Open the door! What are you doing? Put the gun down and open the door!
You said not to let anybody in here. Never open the door after
I
dark.
know you're scared, but are you really gonna let those people die?
Hey! Open the fucking door! Julie. Hey! What are you doing? Don't you recognize me?
You, on the floor! On the floor! Now!
No, you guys don't have to. Hey, no, you don't have to get down, no.
You shut your mouth! I said get on the goddamn floor!
Do what she says.
Now! Tie them up.
Hey, Donna, come on.
We have a protocol.
They have a protocol when dealing with people they do not know. So that means that they've done this before. They have a procedure. There should not be any reason to not let Ellis in. There should be not a reason to let anyone who's running in. And they have a procedure when dealing with people, as in they know that these people are not creatures because they're running, and they're going to tie them up to let them know the ins and outs of Fromville and make sure that they don't panic and go ballistic, because Donna is all about command and control, especially when people go crazy, because crazy equals pandemonium, pandemonium equals chaos.
Ellis, just come on.
Okay.
Why are you doing this? We're not gonna do anything. Please. It's okay. I'm here. It's okay, babe.
I believe Dale is the mole. Dale knew there was a procedure. He ignored the procedure because I believe that he wanted the runners from the town or new people to get caught by the creatures. The creatures came right around the corner as a group, conveniently at this moment, as if Dale knew. Dale is the only reoccurring character that has not been unalived by the creatures. He's not a main character. He's not a guest. He's the only one that's had a significant number of scenes and dialogue, and nothing has happened to him as far as interaction with creatures, as if he knows where they're going to be. He knows how they act, how they behave. And it just seems odd that they have a whole procedure, runners on the hill, yet he's preventing the door from being opened. Fatima has to fight with Dale, physically fight with Dale, in order to get Dale to move out of the way, despite them having a whole procedure, including tying people up who they don't know, or they come from the town and they're coming into Colony House.
Now, the question is, how many dimensions are there? Bosonic string theorists believe there are 26 dimensions, but superstring theorists say there's only 10.
And is that what this place is? Another dimension?
Oh, no. This is a pocket universe.
Oh, God.
For Christ's sake, man, enough. It's not a pocket universe. It's not whatever the fuck you think it is, and nobody gives a fuck. So why don't you shut the fuck up, man?
Yeah, okay. Have another drink.
Fun fact, Donna's played by Elizabeth Saunders. The character of Dale was recast to Donna's real life husband, Cliff Saunders. That's the reason why Dale from season 1, episode 1 looks different than he does throughout the rest of the series. Yes, Donna and Dale are married in real life. Dale has been the only character who's been somewhat enthusiastic about talking about Fromville. Everyone else kind of has speculation and they're guessing. Dale sounds matter of fact. And then when Ellis came to challenge Dale, Dale was like, have another drink, almost brushing Ellis off, because I believe that Dale believes that he's right, that it really is a pocket universe, because he's a part of the people who either created the pocket universe, know about the pocket universe, or experimenting inside of it.
Is the antenna. We're gonna have to get the signal up over the treetops. That's why we put it on the roof the last time. Yeah, if we can strip this thing down, get it light enough, this drone can carry it up over.
Yeah, I get it. You can get the antenna up as high as you want. All right. This radio's pretty trashed.
Well, the radio's not the problem. I can handle the radio.
Sure about that?
Huh. You think I'm crazy?
I don't think you're crazy. Shit. With everything I've seen here so far, the first person that's making any sense. I'm just wondering why you haven't asked yourself the obvious question.
And what's that?
Well, you think this place is one big experiment, right? And it never occurred to you that some of the people here might be in on it? And they'd have to be. How else do you keep the experiment on track?
So far, out of all of the main characters, recurring characters, even guests, there's only one character that has been enthusiastic about Fromville from a scientific point of view. Only one person that's done stuff to actively try to hurt and hinder others. And only one person where when the creatures did breach Colony House, when Kevin opened up the window for the Jasmine creature, Dale, Mr. Shotgun, was nowhere to be found shooting up people. He just so happened to run and leave, not put up a fight, not help anyone out, nowhere to be seen. And as of right now, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, we have not seen any indication that Dale is no longer with us. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.
The future's not ours to see. It's around.